Yo. You tired of losing? Won't you jump on the bandwagon?
I bet you think your team on top, but now we're hot and got this here on lock. Listen and why?
Don't be lollygagging while they jumping on the bandwagon.
I bet you think your team on top, but now we're hot and got this here on lock. Listen and why?
Don't be lollygagging while they jumping on the bandwagon. Come on, jump on a squad you can't front on. You know we in the building when this theme song come on. Riding with the captain, brother Jpragmatic, the mastermind behind it, so you know we gotta have it. Young Bromecitos to do it for the people. Keep the show flowing, plus some catchy little jingles. Put it all together, it's a hit. We ain't bragging, everybody and they mama jumping on the bandwagon.
I bet you think your team on top, but now we're hot and got this here on lock. Listen and why?
Don't be lollygagging while they jumping on the bandwagon.
I bet you think your team on top, but now we're hot and got this here on lock. Listen and why?
Don't be lollygagging while they jumping on the bandwagon.
What's going on with your world? It's only Jprag, the illustrious one. Yes, sir. What going on? What going on? You know how we do this thing, man. The Bandwagon Radio. Subscribe. Hit that bell so you can get those notifications when we drop a new episode like this one right here. Another special edition of the Rundown segment here on the Bandwagon Radio, where I sit down with artists across the globe and give them a chance to open up about their artistry and their music. And, of course, we got to play that hot heat later on in the show. Today, we got a special guest on the phone lines calling in from Atlanta, GA. My man Taj, the elephant, is on the phone lines. What's up, Taj?
Yo, what up, Jay? What's going on with you?
Man, nothing much, bruh. Nothing much. Good to have you on the show.
I appreciate you having me, man.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Got the new record, Spotlight. Dope record. We're going to talk about that a little bit in the show, as well as I'll have you introduce that later on. But, of course, I like to open up and give my listeners a chance to find out a little more about Taj the Elephant and the Spotlight record. So let's first and foremost start. Where's your background? Let's start there first and foremost. Like, what does your background landscape look like? Where you grew up and what got you involved in music?
Well, actually, I'm down in the A now, but I didn't grow up in Atlanta. I actually was born and raised in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born to Punjabi parents, so I was born here. They immigrated here in the 80s. So I was born, Punjabi descent. My father was a Bhangra dancer.
Okay.
And I started off in music at a young age, man, and things just took a turn and fell in love with hip hop when I was 12.
Okay. Now, I definitely got that from the research that I did on you, that your traditional background and upbringing was a little different than most in the hip-hop game. So let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. So talk to our listeners about growing up in the tradition of the Indian family and that lifestyle, and then how did you transition into hip-hop?
Man, interesting question. Very interesting question. Well, it's not your traditional, American culture. So the Indian community is like very, caste system like, and everything's about, who how much you got, yada, yada, yada. And I grew up in an environment, where my father was super strict. I couldn't do much, but I was into sports young. I played basketball, played baseball. I was in music class, third grade. But things was just difficult because I couldn't do much of anything, So when I grew up playing ball, a lot of my friends, were black. So I would want to hang out with them more and more and more. And my father was like, no, you can't do that. And I didn't really like that. I felt like, these are my people, these are my friends. So, it was more of a pull, rebel kind of opposite track kind of thing. And, I heard hip hop and just went through a lot of stuff. I got arrested when I was 14, kicked out of the school system, and that turned everything upside down, and then I just kind of fell in love with music from there and just like, you know what? I want to tell the world my story. I want to rap. I want to write. I had a gift for it, and I just ran with it, man.
So what was it like trying to find yourself as an artist, and a rebel at a young age in that type of environment?
Another great question, Jay. I like that. That's a great question,
Well, I
man.
told you we're gonna talk now. We're gonna talk over here on the Bandwagon Radio. I like my listeners to get a chance to really get to know the artist.
Yeah, feel you, man. Feel you. Definitely on point. It wasn't easy. There's a lot of criticism that comes with it, right? So growing up, a lot of people don't know this, but, I left my house when I was like 15 years old, and I never really went back,
Okay.
And everywhere you go, my father has well-off friends, who got businesses and stuff like that. So, I drive past to go get a Dutch or some gas or something, and they talking about why you got ink, why you got this, why you got that, your music is this. It's like rebellion, right? Because it's almost like a caste system.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing black music, it's like, why? What are you doing that for? That's a disdain. But to me, it was special because the same community that rejected me my whole life, was the same ones that pushed me, closer towards my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up, those were the kids that I played ball with, kids that I went to school with. And they were in the urban community, right? So, you live with them, you grow up with them, you adapt to the culture.
Yeah.
So naturally, I fell in love with a culture that accepted me.
Wow. That's a good spin on it right there. I mean, most people don't understand what you may go through in your own cultures, So I think that's very important that you're putting it out there on Front Street that, look, this was not easy for me to even be here. I think that's what I'm getting from your story is this was not easy for me to be here. So this is love and passion.
Oh yeah, absolutely, bro. Like 100%. Like, I mean, bro, like till this day, I go through criticism. You know what I'm saying? Like till this day, and people always got something to say in the community and, friends and so-called, close friends and all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. But what people don't understand is that when you're growing up, in a strict troubled childhood where it's like abuse and you can't do this, you can't do that. And it's not like, oh, well, you can't do something that's bad for you. It's just like you're being controlled, So going through that, I was broken. So the black community took me in and said, you know what, we don't care what you look like, what you've been through, we're going to love you, we're going to feed you, we're going to give you a home, and my loyalty is deep. So I just stuck with that my whole life, fell in love with the people that fell in love with me, and black music is just like, to me, it's the greatest music in the world. It's the foundation of all music, and I fell in love with that, and I never gave it up, just took it higher and higher.
Now, do you feel like your music will be accepted by your family in the traditional Indian culture in which you were raised at some point? Do you feel like you can win that culture over? Or is it even a concern to you?
To be honest with you, bro, like at this point in my career, at this point in my life, man, I done been through so much, like I don't even care, to be honest with you. But it's kind of going to be like a byproduct, I believe, because once you're on TV and you got platinum plaques and you're making money and all that other stuff, it's going to be like, oh, well, we knew you could always do it, but my plan is bigger than that. I want to break down barriers for other Indian kids all over the world that are going through the same thing, to let their parents know, like, hey, listen, it's a universal culture, like it's all right to be what you want to be.
Yeah. I think that's important what you said too, that, it accepted you. The culture accepted you,
Oh yeah, man, absolutely, bro. Like my heart goes out to, everybody, especially in the black community, the people that are getting killed, for no damn reason, just because of the color of their skin, man. I mean, I was laying down, kissing the concrete with my brothers growing up, all my teenage and early 20s life, so I know what that's like. And it's a shame, but it's been going on for years, and it's just horrible.
Yeah.
But
now, let's talk about the you said the addictions and depression. What do you feel led to this abuse? When you speak about abuse earlier, what do you think led you down that path ultimately?
Well, you know what? For everybody listening right now, you know, I'm gonna get as real as possible right now. It ain't gonna
Please
be
do,
no,
brother. Please do.
you know what I'm saying, Jay? Like that's
Unedited
how it
too,
is.
brother. By the way, we're unedited. Feel comfortable. Feel free.
All right, well, hey, listen, I appreciate that shit. You know, not like commercial radio where you got,
Yeah.
standards and policies and
Yes,
shit,
sir. Yes, sir.
but
Nah, we good over here, bruh. That's what I was saying
uh,
earlier before the interview. Like over here, yeah, this the independent side of things. We can do what we want over here.
yeah, man, I that's cool, man. I appreciate that. That's why I kind of love where music is going independently,
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just to be very, very frank with everybody, man, when you're a Indian kid, right? You're a Punjabi kid, and you're in the hood, right? You're playing ball, you're rapping with people, you're dating their women, all kind of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's love, but there's also hate,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Everybody
Oh
knows
yeah.
that,
Oh yeah.
right? So it starts from that. It starts from people calling you out, and essentially, as you know, in the community, when you get hated on, it's really people calling you out.
Mm-hmm.
Prove them wrong, step
Mm-hmm.
up, be better. You know what I'm saying? And it came from being abused when I was young. There's so much shit that happened to me, in terms of abuse that I would go to my parents about and be like, yo, like this shit happened, like, and they'd be like, all right, well, brush it off or whatever. Let's fast forward. I'm giving you highlights right now, right? Because I'm not gonna
Yeah.
speak a
Of course.
book.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then fast forward. I got kicked out of middle school, went to high school, got kicked out of fucking high school twice, dropped out. Fast forward again. I left Jersey, went to Brooklyn, came back to Jersey, went back to Atlanta. Had a couple of auditions that were lined up, that didn't fall through because people wanted to fucking take them away from me and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So all those things piled up. People stabbed me in the back, women that, I fell in love with and they don't know fucking right from left. You know what I'm saying? So all that shit added up is just like, it caused a breakdown. I'm not even gonna lie about that. It caused a breakdown, especially when I was in Atlanta a couple of years ago. I had 2 label auditions because they had, seen my performances, heard me and all that other stuff, freestyling, battling, everything. And the people I was working with just fucking took it away from me. So here I am on my own, no bread, no paper, no nothing. And I'm thinking I'm about to realize my dreams of a lifetime. And the shit gets taken away from you like that. So I'm gonna keep it real with everybody, man. When I came back, bro, I did everything I get my hands on. You know what I'm saying? Like everything I get my hands on, I was selling it, I was smoking it, I was sniffing it, I was drinking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the reason why I did that is because I wanted to suppress the pain because I didn't want to deal with it. But I'm gonna be real with everybody who's fucking listening. There is no hiding from that shit.
Yeah.
Right? You gotta face that shit eventually. It's just temporary. So that's how all that pretty much came about because, I feel like as artists, we're all, these emotional roller coasters and we speak our stories, you know what I'm saying? So when shit hits you and you're abandoned when you're young, the failures hit you harder than it might, somebody who had a more supportive background. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just keeping it real, bro. Like
we appreciate your honesty and transparency. Talking to Taj the Elephant right now, Atlanta, GA, residing right now. Do you ever regret any of your earlier decisions? Like in relations to your family or moving out on your own or anything even musically? Do you regret any of those decisions that got you to this point?
Jpragmatic, bro, you got the sauce and the drip. Woo, you be asking, bro. You be asking some great questions, my guy, bro. Like that's what's up.
That's what I do. That's what I do, my guy. We drip that sauce.
Yo, everybody listening need to follow again. Do this dude right here, bro. So
I appreciate that, my brother.
Hey man, I mean, do I regret any decisions
I made? Do you regret any of those decisions? Like you said, when you felt like you had to up and leave. Look, this is my new family. I'm going here.
No, I don't regret none of that because I never felt like I belonged there. I never felt like I was part of them. You know what I mean? And even now, like to this day, I don't feel like that. Although I'm trying to be the bigger man. I'm trying to, you know, sit down and work with him, try to call here and there, try to get past the bullshit, you know what I mean? But at that time, not at all, because I felt like I didn't belong, you know, at all. And, you know, like, bro, like I was homeless 4 different fucking times, you know, and a lot of people don't know that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit hurt. I still think about that shit sometimes, you know, so it's deeper than that. You know, musically, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. The only thing I probably regret is not being able to notice when certain people I work with, you know, ain't have my best interests at heart.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause when you broken as a kid, you know, you tend to gravitate towards people that's going to accept you and show you love, right? Because you feel it's kind of like the Jimmy Butler Miami situation, like, oh, they wanted me here, so I'm happy, I'm gonna play better. You know, it was one of those situations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was a young naive move. I would say that's the only regret I have. Other than that, man, I mean, I ain't got no regrets, bro. Like I'm happy with going through hell. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it's hell getting to heaven.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact. Well said, brother. Well said too. Spotlight, the new record. Let me give my viewpoints on the record. Of course, I had the chance to vibe out to the record. Nice melodic sound, real relaxed, smooth vibe with the record. Kind of sonic tones and vibes I caught from it as well. The content is very engaging. It's relatable for those seeking like kind of like a more out of life. That's kind of the vibe I got. Like, it's that bigger than life. You want more. And what would you say was the I guess the goal of the record? What was the purpose of Spotlight?
The purpose of Spotlight was to capture a feeling, you know, one of my many dreams, vivid dreams, you know. As a musician, I try to capture as many feelings as possible and make them as real as possible. Mm-hmm. So Spotlight to me was that feeling of like, all right, you know, I've been grinding my ass off. I've been hustling. You know, I done did everything. You know, got in trouble, trapped, all that bullshit. You know, so Spotlight to me was, all right, all this grinding and hard work paid off. You know, I got put on. I'm making money now. You know, and I got me a badass bitch. You know, so it was that feeling right there of, all right, I just came off of my success. You know, women that probably wouldn't have gave me a chance back then, give me a chance now. That was someone I liked, and it's that exact feeling in that moment. You know, when you're successful and you got that fly ass bitch next to you, and you just have that feeling in that very moment. Everybody goes through that fly phase, should I say? Yeah. You know, in different ways, and that's what I wanted to capture and project, and I feel like I did that.
So, who inspires you musically, and why? Who are some of those artists you kind of looked up to, or you know, followed yourself as a fan of the culture?
Oh wow, I love that question, man. I love that question. I think I only been asked that like one time. Brad with the sauce and the
hey,
drip.
baby, let's get it. Have fun with it.
Got
Have
the juice and the sauce. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna drop some names that a lot of people may or may not be familiar with. So,
okay.
The people that inspired me, the people that I spent, you know, countless hours studying, countless hours. You know, your Marvin Gaye's, your Michael Jackson's, you know, your Temptations, your, you know, all the soul music from back in the day, because James Brown, okay. You know, I remember studying him a lot, and James Brown is the godfather of hip hop, right? So, you know, the way I was taught was, hey, if you're gonna do black music, you got to understand soul. Oof. So I spent a lot of time, you know, studying those artists, and then, you know, as I got older and got into the more, you know, street vibe, you know, I really fuck with like I like Kanye a lot coming up. I always gravitated towards Wayne. I did like Future a lot too. Like I fuck with Future heavy. Like his style was just like, you know, like trap music to me is very stylish, right? Yeah. And in my opinion, a lot of people might disagree, but the trap era is probably one of the best eras of music, period, because it's so stylish. Mm-hmm. So I would say, in the early days, it was probably those cats, because I wanted to dig in the past and kind of build my foundation. And in hip hop, man, I mean, Kanye was a beast for sure. I would say those guys, man, especially Lil Wayne. I fuck with Lil Wayne, man. He the GOAT.
Weezy F.
Weezy F, baby. Yeah, that man's a GOAT, man. That dude is if you look at his growth, from what he came to and what he did, you know what I mean? Like, how could you not be inspired by that? Yeah. He grew up in your face, and that's one of the things I learned. Like, don't be afraid to grow up in front of your audience. What you go through, tell them about it. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel about music.
Do you have any fears when it comes to performing or recording?
No, I have no fears at all. I think my only fear is that it won't be good enough, because I'll do songs and put them out and people will love them and it'll get, crazy views and all that other stuff. But I'll listen to it and pick it apart. I don't think I'm ever satisfied with anything I do, but when it comes to the actual element of recording, nah, man, no fear whatsoever. Built for this shit.
And hitting that stage is no problem either then. You ain't worrying about that.
Man, not at all, bro. Like, I tell my CFO all the time, like, I wish I could be in the studio and have the top 10 acts of the whole world watching me, and I'll show them how it's done. You know what I mean? It's just being comfortable in who you are.
So you mentioned your CFO. Are there any other people you want to acknowledge or shout out or mention, for help along the way in this journey?
Man, fuck everybody else. I mean, shit, look, man, I would just keep it real with you, bro. Like, fuck everybody, all right? Like, fact, bro. Like, like I'm not going to sit here and be like, all right, this dude helped me or that dude helped me. Like, I'm not going to do that, bro. Like, I'm going to keep it real with you. Like, most of the people I fuck with, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. Because, like, I mean, that's just what it is, like, everybody, not everybody, but the people that I fuck with mostly, bro, like, they're fucking clowns, and it's not on them, but it's on me because I ain't no better for associate myself with clowns. You know what I'm saying? So fuck that. You know what I'm saying? But for today,
Oh my God.
Hey, man, I'll just keep it real with you, bro. Like, that's just what
brother,
it is. That's
what
how
I
I feel
want.
about that.
That's all I want, bro. That's exactly what we want. The bandwagon radio. You jump on here, get them things off your chest, and then jump on off, bro. You dig what I'm saying? That's what we about over here. So
yeah,
I'm loving
it.
That. I love the transparency. That's what I want.
Hey, man, I ain't going, that's why I tell people all the time. Like, I talk to my fans all the time. I get DMs every day. Every day I get DMs from people all over the world, and I talk to them and I keep shit real with them all the time, and that's just being honest. Like, I'm going to be honest whether people like it or not. Like, right now I got my CFO, one of my childhood best friends that, came onto the company, brilliant mind, brilliant dude. And a few other small people that we're working with, that help us along the way now. Everybody else in the past, man, go take a seat and watch me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sometimes
I do want to shout out.
Go ahead.
I do want to shout out. The Spotlight girl though. She's definitely phenomenal talent.
Yeah. Yes.
Gorgeous.
Looks like
absolutely
a phenomenal talent. You are correct. From what I can see,
phenomenal.
Of course.
What you say?
I said from what I can see, yeah. I'm with you on the phenomenal part as far as what I can see visually on the video.
Yeah, man. She's definitely something special. Y'all go follow her on IG, Naisha on the set. She did phenomenal, man. We had great chemistry, and it was just like, it was what it was supposed to be. Yeah. And that's all we're going to say.
All right, then.
Phenomenal talent, man.
It is. Well, speaking of the video, what was the goal for the video and the visuals? Because we got the Spotlight video out there. Make sure you check in for that to all our listeners. But what was the goal for that video? What did you want to portray? What were you trying to show the audience?
I wanted to convey the feeling. It wasn't so much as a visual. as it was the feeling of the song. Like, how could I take this video and this scene and this fine ass woman and give you the audience, you know, the feeling of that butterfly stage. And it ain't just, you know, you ain't got to be a platinum rapper. You could be, you know, somebody who's just doing your own thing. You hook up with somebody who got that butterfly feeling, that's that spotlight feeling. So my goal for that video was to project that energy through another, you know, sensation of the mind, like visually, you know. So more importantly, it was just like, wow, you know, oh, there's a fire. Oh, they're having a great time. They're having a great chemistry. So for me, it was just about, you know, really transcending the visual to an emotion, you know, and it starts with the chemistry, you know, and me and the Spotlight Girl had great chemistry and it showed. And that's what you call, you know, a great masterpiece, man. That was the whole goal of it. You know, the fire shit was dope too. I ain't gonna lie. That shit was definitely dope.
Now, I like to ask artists this question to really get a temperature gauge on them and a reality check in some ways too. Now, are you afraid of failure, like not completing your ultimate musical mission?
That's a great question, man. You, bruh.
Sauce.
We gotta bring you.
Sauce.
We gotta get you to do the next presidential debate because these motherfuckers out here wild. You got some great questions to me. You might be able to ask them some shit that might actually get them to talk and not bicker.
That's the whole point. We gotta get them to talk. You're right though. I might throw my hat in the ring at some point in time.
Hey man, listen, you got my vote, bruh. And everybody listening, vote too. Man, that's a great question, man. Am I afraid of failing in music?
Yeah. Are you afraid of, and not even just musically, but your mission? I think that's the ultimate piece. Like, because what I hear from you is this is a part of you. This is a passion. This is life. This is air breathing. So, you know, when I get that sense from an artist, this to me is a perfect question to align the artist and the man, the person. You know what I'm saying? So, being real, since we're being real and being honest, are you afraid of failure, like not completing your musical mission and vision?
Yeah, I totally understand that. That's definitely a very human question, right? Because, you know, you never know with life, right? Shit happens, shit don't happen, whatever the case is. So I'm gonna say this one thing, and I'm gonna segue into answering your question. When you've been through the shit that I've been through, where you ain't got nobody by your side, you don't know if you're gonna eat, you don't know how to do something, you ain't got no support, you kind of get this fuck the world attitude. So to answer your question, am I afraid of failing? Hell fucking no, because I don't already failed so many times that it don't even fucking bother me. So if it's a failure, to me, it's just the next step to success. So I'm not afraid of that shit at all.
Well said. Great answer.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it trill, right? That's how they say it. Gotta keep it trill.
What's the ultimate goal for you as an artist? Taj the Elephant. What's that ultimate goal in the music game? What mark do you want to leave on the game?
So there's no one answer for that, but I can narrow it down to 3.
Okay, talk to us.
All right. And everybody listening, listen close. All right. First mark. All right. I am the greatest rapper alive of Indian descent, period. And I will be known for that.
Okay.
The second thing, I want to break down barriers, you know, especially for Indian people, especially for the block and for the hood, man, because, like, you know, I've been through a lot of shit, and you know, when you grow up in that raw environment, they kind of make you into what you are today. And I want to break down all those barriers. Like, hey, listen, you know, you can be Indian from India and live here and not have to, you know, be a slave to what other people tell you, you know, the stereotypes, the cliches. Like, be what you want to be free, you know, feel what you want to feel. That would be the second thing. The third thing is, and in my opinion, this is probably, to me, is my most important thing. As entertainers, we are responsible for taking people out of their reality, whether it's for a song, for a show, for a movie, whatever it is, whether it's conversation, whatever it is. That's why we're called entertainers. So ultimately, no matter what, I want to be able to succeed in giving people that escape, whether you're happy, sad, depressed, motivated. You know, I make all type of music, and I say so much shit that is relatable, so you'll be able to relate to that. So my goal is to, you know, take people out of their realities, whether it's to enhance their good reality at the moment, or whether it's to give them somebody to listen to when they're going through something that's real fucked up. You know, I want to embody the ultimate entertainer, and the ultimate entertainer is not the guy who sells the most. It's not the guy who makes the most. It's the guy or woman that, you know, connects with the audience the most and helps them escape their realities. That's the embodiment of entertainment.
Great breakdown.
Yeah, man. Facts, bro. That's just, you know, everybody who tell you they're doing it for the money all the time is a fucking lie, man. The money is a byproduct. The money is great and all of that, but you ain't gonna get nowhere in life if money is your main motivation, man. That's just facts.
Yeah. So you're talking about, you know, letting youth in your culture and the Indian culture know, and in that tradition know that, you know, they can open up and be who they want to be, essentially. So what advice would you have for a young artist or aspiring artist of Indian descent who's interested, like he's listening to this interview and he's on the verge, like, yo, I want to do it. I want to do it. What type of advice would you have for him?
I actually have a couple of, you know, Indian youths that have hit me up, you know, from India. There's one in America as well, from California. And they asked me that same question, ironically, in different contexts. My advice would be, number one, get ready for the criticism and have some fucking balls. Because there's going to be some criticism. They're going to reject you. They're going to hate you. And they're not going to like you. People that, you know, you were around that accepted you are not going to accept you no more. So have some balls. Number two, if you going to do black music, you better fucking respect black music, and you better go learn how the shit went down. Know your history. You know, build your foundation. Don't just jump on a track, you know, cause the baby laid some hot shit and you want to sound like him. Like, you know, like understand how music works, because I guarantee you, you know, your fellow native, if you got the baby on the phone right now, he'll be able to tell you all about blues and soul music, because that's the foundation of it. You know, so I would say understand the culture, understand the music, where it began, how it's built up, you know, and respect it. And that's just really, you know, the main two things. You know, if you do both of those humbly and you work hard, you'll make it. There's room for everybody at the top. That's fact.
There it is. You hearing it. Taj the Elephant on the phone lines right now by way of Atlanta, GA. Brother been moving around, moving and mixing and moving. Landed in GA. We're gonna introduce the song for now. I know, right? That's
for now. We looking at LA. We're looking at LA. We don't see what happened though.
Okay. All right. Well, we gonna keep in contact so I know where you at. You know what I'm saying? So we can keep these things moving. You know. Before we play the record though, how can our listeners follow you? Go ahead, give out your social media and everything.
Yeah, man, for sure. So the album Punjabi Reject Volume 1, as part of a 3-album series, is streaming everywhere. Like whatever streaming services y'all got, whatever access y'all got, is literally everywhere. So you can literally go check that out there. I'm on Instagram. Y'all can follow me at taj.the.elephant. And I'll definitely follow y'all back. I'll definitely talk to y'all. There's all kind of shit on that. And on YouTube, you can see Spotlight and some other dope shit that I got on there. You know, youtube.com/Taj the Elephant. And just connect with me, man. You know, fuck with me, because like my man Jay Show say, it's a bandwagon, so don't be a bandwagon jumper. Jump on from rip, because, you know, you're going to understand it.
That's exactly where the name came from too, bro. Like we'll be jumping on late now. See, you jump on. You know.
Yeah, exactly, man. Don't be afraid. Fuck with it, because I'm one of the realest that's out right now. Trust me on that one. They're gonna call me king at the end of all of this, Jay. Trust me on that one.
There it is, man. There it is. Taj the Elephant on the phone lines right now. Go ahead, introduce that new single for the people.
Yeah. World, North Carolina, wherever you at, I want y'all to check this record out right here. Special record, dope record. Feel, right? You got a special lady in your life, you got a special man in your life, whatever it is, that record for you. So there you go right here. Taj the Elephant, Spotlight.
That's right here on the Bandwagon Radio. Turn it up. There you go.
She want it, she twerking, she flown it, she on it, she got it, she twerking, she flown it, she want it, she got it, she twerking, she flown it, she on it, she got it. She never met a man like me before, dripping on Spotlight stage night, yeah. Headed to the jail all night before, dripping on Dior stage lights, yeah. Spotlight, she deserved a spotlight. She deserved a spotlight. We deserve a spotlight. She feeling me, I'm feeling her. She so thick, slide into her. Twerk on me, make it hurt. Sunday morning, make her late for church. You heard of me, Punjabi man. She nasty and lit with a college grin. I'm with the lick, pick up plan. Ain't no cap, Mr. Stick Up man. I drop it in hotter, I kill. Every day like a holiday feel. You follow me, she follow the pills. You monitor and honor the real. You call me, I call it a favor. You call me the best, so major. I lay out the body on hater. I write my soul, recite paper, yeah. She never met a man like me before, dripping on Spotlight stage night, yeah. Headed to the jail all night before, dripping on Dior stage lights, yeah. Spotlight, she deserved a spotlight. She deserved a spotlight. We deserve a spotlight. She feeling me, I'm feeling big. This the elephant genesis. I count the bread with the sig. She want the M and some bad-ass kids. And gon' say and she lows overseas. She drive a boat, I crack a seal. You gon' choke, text me 12, you want the smoke. I been in the belly of the beast. In time all hot like Belize. I want it, I shoot it, I feast. You blocking, I'm chopping the key. Yeah, you want it, I bring in it loud. They standing on strike, they foul. I demand it, she go on the prowl. She bad and she proves it, she smile, yeah. She never met a man like me before, dripping on Spotlight stage night, yeah. Headed to the jail all night before, dripping on Dior stage lights, yeah. Spotlight, she deserved a spotlight. She deserved a spotlight. We deserve a spotlight.